The UK is in a race against time to help British nationals and supportive Afghans leave Afghanistan as paratroopers mount a last stand in Kabul. US President Joe Biden has suggested rescue missions must be completed within 10 days amid fears hundreds, if not thousands, will be slaughtered by the Taliban if they cannot get out. British paratroopers have been desperately trying to hold the line at Hamid Karzai International Airport, which has seen scenes of chaos in recent days. There are fears that the rescue operation, which has seen Britain pledge to evacuate just 7,000, could collapse within 2 days. So far the Taliban has allowed the evacuations, but the situation on the ground remains fraught and panicked. This week heartbreaking video from the airport appeared to show desperate women passing young children over barbed wire fences to get them out of Afghanistan after the capital fell last Sunday. President Biden, at a press conference yesterday, signaled U.S. efforts to rescue American citizens could wrap up at the end of the month, a move that is likely to present a similar deadline for British armed and diplomatic attempts to get people out of the country after the Taliban took control. Asked whether the U.S. could get all Americans out of Afghanistan by August 31st, President Biden told reporters, "I think we can get it done by then, but we're going to make that judgment as we go." It comes as Boris Johnson said the UK would have to manage the consequences of the US withdrawal from the Central Asian country, a move which has come under fierce criticism this week. The Prime Minister, speaking after chairing an emergency government meeting about the Afghanistan situation, told broadcasters in Downing Street, "We went into Afghanistan to support and help protect the United States. So when the United States decides emphatically to withdraw in the way that they have, clearly, we're going to have to manage the consequences." He said 1,000 people had been repatriated to the UK on both Thursday and Friday, with most of them UK nationals or those who had assisted British efforts in Afghanistan. According to The Times, Mr. Johnson feels let down by Mr. Biden over the way the US has handled the withdrawal. It has been suggested the president told G7 leaders at their meeting in Cornwall in June that he would keep critical U.S. enablers in Kabul following the U.S. exit from Afghanistan to ensure a Western presence could continue in the capital, according to a British diplomatic memo seen by Bloomberg. British officials read the memo, issued before the Taliban's lightning offensive across the country, as meaning enough security personnel would stay to ensure that the UK embassy in Kabul could continue operating, according to the news service. Instead, the British embassy has been evacuated, Downing Street confirmed this week. Mr. Biden defended the U.S. withdrawal, saying he had seen no questioning of our credibility from our allies around the world after speaking with NATO partners. but NATO members had a message for Washington following a virtual meeting of foreign ministers on Friday, with the 30-nation group calling on the U.S. to secure Kabul airport for as long as it takes, even if that stretches beyond the evacuation of all American nationals. The Prime Minister used conversations with allies on Friday to pursue his own diplomatic push for international partners to take a united front in dealing with the Taliban. He and Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte agreed any recognition of a new Afghan government should not happen on a unilateral basis, according to a Downing Street readout of their phone call. Mr. Johnson hinted that the UK could be willing to work with the Taliban if necessary to find a solution after 20 years of military engagement. Under the Taliban's previous rule in Afghanistan, women were largely confined to their homes, television and music were banned, and public executions were held regularly. The leaders of the movement have pledged more moderation this time, although reports of targeted killings in areas overrun by the Taliban have fueled fears they will return Afghanistan to repressive rule. Asked whether the militants were a regime he could potentially work with, Mr. Johnson said, "I think it's very important that we take people at face value. We hope that they mean what they say." He added the insurgents would be judged on their actions, rather than their words. The Prime Minister also backed the Foreign Secretary's handling of the Afghan crisis following calls for him to resign. Johnson said he absolutely had confidence in Dominic Raab after the cabinet minister delegated a call to a junior minister about repatriating Afghan interpreters due to being on holiday on the Greek island of Crete. The call ultimately was not made on that day.